Mom says wishes don't work. So why was she standing in the toy aisle, staring at a shelf she couldn't afford, asking a stranger for help? Before you scroll away, pause for one moment. Because this story isn't just about a toy, or a wish, or a little girl. It's about the kind of quiet miracles that happen when people choose kindness. And if stories like this touch your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because one small click helps us share hope with millions more. The girl's voice was soft, almost apologetic, as if she was afraid the words themselves might be too heavy for the air. She couldn't have been older than 7. Her jacket sleeves were slightly too short, and her sneakers looked like they'd already lived a long life. She stood on her tiptoes to reach a bright red box on the top shelf, then slowly lowered her hands when she realized she couldn't. The man beside her hadn't planned on stopping in the toy aisle. He was only there because his son had texted him from boarding school the night before, reminding him that it was his birthday next week. A quick gift. That was the plan. In and out, no emotions, no delays. He was known in business magazines as a relentless CEO, sharp suits, sharper decisions, a single dad who ran a global tech company while raising a son alone after his wife passed away years earlier. People saw success when they looked at him. They never saw the silence that followed him home. He heard the girl before he saw her. "Mom says wishes don't work," she whispered, staring at the shelf. Then she looked up at him with wide, serious eyes. "But can you help mine?" The words landed somewhere deep inside him, someplace he thought had closed off years ago. He crouched down to her level. "What's your wish?" he asked, his voice gentler than he expected. She hugged her arms around herself. "It's not for me," she said quickly. "It's for my little brother. He's sick a lot. He likes dinosaurs because he says they're strong, and strong things don't get scared." She pointed to the red box. Inside was a large dinosaur toy, the kind that roared when you pressed its chest. "How much is it?" he asked. She already knew. "Too much," she said, nodding once, like someone who had learned that word early in life. "We're just looking." That sentence, "we're just looking," hit him harder than any boardroom battle ever had. He glanced down the aisle and saw the girl's mother standing a few steps away, pretending to examine a clearance bin. Her shoulders were tense, tired, the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. He picked up the box and checked the price. It was nothing to him, less than the cost of a single lunch meeting. But he hesitated, not because of the money, but because he knew how pride worked, how dignity mattered. He turned back to the girl. "You know," he said softly, "sometimes wishes don't work on their own. Sometimes they need helpers." Her eyes widened. "Really?" He smiled. "Really?" When he brought the toy to the counter along with his own purchase, the mother rushed over, shaking her head. No, you don't have to, please," she said, her voice tight with embarrassment. He met her eyes. "I want to," he said simply, "from one parent to another." She swallowed, then nodded, tears threatening but held back. "Thank you," she whispered. "You don't know what this means." He did know, more than she realized. That should have been the end of it, a kind moment, a brief intersection of lives. But it wasn't. A week later, he found a small envelope tucked under his office door. No return address. Inside was a crayon drawing of a dinosaur standing beside a tall building, holding hands with a little girl. On the back, in uneven letters, were the words, "Thank you for helping my wish." My brother smiled. He stared at the drawing for a long time. That night, when he went home to his empty house, the silence felt louder than usual. His son was away. The walls were too clean, too quiet. He placed the drawing on his desk and sat there, thinking about wishes, and the ones he had stopped making. Over the next few weeks, he couldn't stop thinking about that family. He told himself it was nothing, just guilt, just sentiment. But when he found himself driving back to the same store, lingering near the toy aisle, he knew it was more than that. Fate stepped in again on a rainy afternoon. The girl recognized him immediately. "Mom, it's the wish helper," she exclaimed. The mother looked up, surprised, then smiled warmly. "Hello," she said. "We meet again." They talked, at first about small things, names, school, weather, then slowly about life. He learned that her name was Sarah. The girl was Lily. Her brother Noah had a chronic illness that kept him in and out of hospitals. Medical bills swallowed everything. Wishes apparently were a luxury. He didn't offer money. He didn't offer solutions. He just listened. And somehow, listening became a habit. He helped Sarah connect with a nonprofit that supported families like hers. He pulled strings, not as a CEO, but as a human being, finding resources, programs, help she didn't know existed. He never made it feel like charity. He made it feel like teamwork. Lily started waving whenever she saw him. Noah, when he felt well enough, would show him the dinosaur and make roaring sounds that echoed through hospital hallways. One evening, after a particularly hard day, Sarah said something that stayed with him forever. "You know," she said quietly, "I stopped believing in wishes after my husband died, but my daughter still believes. And maybe that's how the world keeps going." He nodded, unable to speak. Months passed. The CEO found himself changing. Not in dramatic headlines, but in quiet ways. He left work earlier. He volunteered. He started a foundation within his company, focused on children's health care and family support. His board was surprised. Investors asked questions. He didn't care. For the first time in years, his success felt like something shared. Then came the call he feared. Noah had taken a turn for the worse. He was there that night, standing in a hospital hallway, watching Lily clutch her dinosaur with white knuckles. He saw the fear he remembered from years ago, when he stood in a different hospital, holding his own son's hand, praying for a wife who never came back. He knelt beside Lily. "Hey," he said softly, "remember what strong things do?" She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "They don't get scared," he gently corrected her. "They get scared, but they don't give up." Hours later, as dawn crept in through the window, the doctor came out with a tired smile. Noah was stable, not cured, but okay, for now. Lily let out a shaky laugh. Sarah collapsed into a chair, covering her face. In that moment, the CEO realized something profound. Success meant nothing if it wasn't used to protect moments like this. Years later, Lily would stand on a stage, holding a scholarship awarded by a foundation started by a man she once met in a toy aisle. Noah would be in the audience, healthy enough to cheer. Sarah would smile, no longer exhausted, just human. And the man? He would sit quietly in the back, no cameras, no speeches, watching a wish grow into a life. Closing, inspiring message. Mom said wishes don't work. But maybe wishes aren't supposed to work alone. Maybe they need kindness, courage. People who stop in the middle of their busy lives and say, "I can help." If this story reminded you that small moments can change everything, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share stories that heal, inspire, and remind us all that even in the quiet aisles of ordinary places, miracles are waiting. Because sometimes the greatest wish is simply being seen.